I feel like the guy probably had that idea that he wanted Urahara and that villain, forget her name, to have
Yandere girl, even I don't
have this
remember.
moment, and it just happened so suddenly.
Himiko.
It should.
That's what it is.
There you go. Even have a shirt of her, and I
Big fan.
don't know. I'm embarrassed to wear that shirt in public.
Oh, and then why
at
you buy
home
the shirt?
only.
No, it's just too weird. Like,
My next question is,
Like,
why'd
I
you
have
buy
no-
it?
it's a good question.
What's up, people? Welcome to Otaku, SoCal's bi-weekly anime and pop culture podcast. I'm your host, Ray, aka Sourdough Shonen. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the Smash Shonen Jump hit My Hero Academia season finale, series finale. They have nothing. We used to have numbers back in the day, and everyone just knew, oh, that was the final season. Now it has to say final season of a series, because if not, we don't know if it's the final series or not. But indeed, we are going to be talking about the last epic journey of Deku and his cohorts. So indeed, if you've come for the Shonen Jump, you've come to the right episode of this podcast. And also, if you're looking for my fellow hosts, you also come to the right episode of the podcast, because joining me is my brother Miles. Hello, Miles. How you doing?
Okay. Hello, everyone.
But of course, our last and most important share, I'd argue, half the time is Frank. How you doing, sir?
Okay.
Always okay.
Okay.
I mean, he's sticking on brand. He's
Oh, do I say that a lot?
almost every intro, Frank.
Oh.
He's saving that energy.
Yeah.
He's gathering up to he's got to take on all for one. Yes. I have to think about which one's the good one, which one's the bad one.
Yeah, it gets confusing after a while, and even the show even forgets.
And I'm still looking for the Three Musketeers, and so far nothing. No candy, no nothing.
Yeah.
Feeling gypped on this show, but we'll see. I am curious because this is the biggest current running or was current running Shonen series, because there's other ones that come and gone, but they definitely didn't go the distance as My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
So curious to see what everyone thinks about that show, and see what everyone else thinks, because manga readers they're just cheating on their way to
Yeah.
it's no fun. We got to see the anime version. So yeah, we're gonna do that in a little bit. Before that, let's see what everyone's been up to and talk about our weeks. And let's start with Frank, since Frank was absent on the last episode of Otaku. Let's see what he's up to since his last recording.
Well, I did find out that one of my players likes to play Smash Brothers, so we had a conversation about that today.
Who's their main? Not Jigglypuff, I hope.
No, what did they say? I think they said Kirby.
Oh,
Mm.
not the worst, not the best.
I was tempted to give away one of my Switches so they can play.
Time to give it away,
Yeah,
Frank.
because we started talking and she was saying that her little brother's gonna get us a Nintendo,
Mm.
and I'm like,
An NES?
and I had to ask which one. And then she was like, I don't know why he gets one and we haven't had one. I'm like, you guys don't have a Nintendo? Yes. I felt like I needed to
As a
There
responsible
you go.
adult, I must.
donate.
It's just what it's she's just walking down the street going home, and Frank shows up in the sunlight, twilight hours, because you too can game.
I just don't know if it's gonna affect her play. So I might,
But only in these hours between games.
she might stop training. So maybe not so much of a surprise. I got Octopath Traveler 0.
That's definitely not shocking.
I haven't played too much of it. I'm surprised of how different it is than because it's supposed to be the mobile game.
Right, it's originally based on that.
And I was not expecting so much added content.
Mm.
So at least right now in the beginning. So I guess I was expecting it to be a carbon copy of the mobile game, but it's not. So that's interesting. A bit different. I'm wondering how many characters of the are gonna stay from the original, because right now none. So we'll see how it goes. But it does give me the feeling of playing Octopath, the nice music, the nice visuals, and I don't know how far it's gonna go into the mobile. I know I finished the first part in the mobile, so if it goes beyond that, then great, because
Right.
I won't have to play the mobile again.
Yeah.
And another thing that I played was, and this is kind of, I came out of nowhere because I was just scrolling through the eShop.
Uh-oh.
It's Metal Slug Tactics.
Oh, I was interested. I haven't got a chance to play, but I remember seeing them being like,
At first, I'm like, it gave me like, oh, tactics. Why?
how dare you?
Why are you doing this?
Not to my Metal Slug.
And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, this is not a bad idea to do war type of game to
War type of
tactics.
game.
I like Final Fantasy Tactics, Frank said.
So I gave it a shot, and it's good.
Oh.
I haven't gotten too far because it's kind of hard. But I think it's maybe I'm mistaken,
Uh-oh.
but it's like Hades if it was tactics. So you don't do the level and then you keep going. It's like you go and see how far you get, and if you lose, you have to start over. So I'm like, okay, this is different, and it kind of threw me off because I was playing, and then the third one, I'm like, oh, this is kind of hard. Why is it so hard? Like, how does it...
I thought I understood this game.
Barely beat it, and then I got to the boss fight. I'm like, this is impossible. So I guess you have to like slowly get stronger, and then you will
Level up characters.
get past it. So I'm looking forward to that. But I stopped playing because of Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
And then I figured this game is more of a like pick it up, play a little bit and stuff.
That makes sense, especially comparing to Hades. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the one problem I do have with it, and I kind of looked it up before I bought it. I'm like, let me make sure it's not a terrible game before I get it.
Right, makes sense.
It's that the text is small. It's hard for me, and like it's a strain on my eyes.
Are you playing on handheld or on the television?
I've only played it handheld.
Okay, and even on handheld hurts your eyes, huh? Because usually I've heard the opposite. I guess where when I put on the TV, it's hard to read, but on handheld, it's okay.
For me, it's the opposite because my TV is really close to my couch. I shouldn't do that.
It's really in the zone. It's almost like VR at the right angle.
The movie theaters there.
Thanks. He's like warnings to happen like anime back in the day. They said it'd be like 5 feet from the TV.
There you go. Get in there.
Nah, thanks. I'm an American.
I don't need those warnings. I am the warning.
I don't get a bigger TV. I just put the couch in closer.
It's like it's big.
20-inch TV, but right in his face. He was like, it's 100.
And that's why I wear glasses now.
There you go.
What have I been watching? I did get started on Spy Family. Oh, there is something. Because I'm almost done with Seinfeld because that's been taking most of my time.
Right.
I started watching a Korean drama because of Ivan.
Oh.
Something about tangerines.
Something about tangerines?
I think it's called When Life Gives You Tangerines.
Oh, there you go.
It's all right. It's, it's a telenovela.
Sounds like it.
But I put a pause to that today because one of my coworkers started watching Game of Thrones.
Oh, like
so
OG Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'm like, I just every day I ask her, hey, so where are you?
Oh, how far did you get?
Yeah. Then I'm like, damn, I remember that. And they're like, oh, can't wait for you to get to this.
We limited through them.
And just because of that, I kind of like look it up on YouTube, and I'm like, oh yeah, so that's what happened. So now stuff keeps popping out of Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. And I'm like, I'm gonna give it a shot. And then today, I'm like, I'll watch maybe 10 minutes and then fall asleep. I finished it. Finished it.
Nice.
It's because they're like,
how many episodes is it?
There's 4 right now. I think the 5th one just came out like at 7. So I'm gonna watch that after this.
Okay. All right.
And it's weird because the episodes feel short. I'm watching it, I'm like, I feel like nothing happens, and then dude, credits. I'm like, really?
What happened? What I missed?
Well, I guess I'll watch another one.
All right, one more.
And somehow that turned into 4 episodes.
Dang, because I'm assuming it's a prequel thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's about 90 years before the the Game of Thrones.
Because there's another prequel show? Is that right?
House of the Dragon.
Okay, but they're 2 different storylines, I guess.
Right, they're different.
They're two different, focusing on different characters and timelines. Question mark.
Well, they're both prequels, I guess you could say. House of the Dragon, I think it's like 200 years before Game of Thrones. And Knights of the Seven Kingdom, it's about 90 years.
So we're slowly moving up. We're catching up to the timeline.
They're all like 100 years apart. Sort of. And then House of the Dragon is not bad. It's just really serious. And I like comedy more. And then Knights of the Seven Kingdoms has a lot of comedy. And then Game of Thrones is like in between. Like, okay,
that's true.
So yeah, I mean, good work, guys.
Attaboy.
It did end in a cliffhanger ish. So I'm looking forward to the episode later.
There you go.
Yeah, I recommend it. I can't think of anything else that I did.
All right, Frank. Then we'll pass the baton.
Can't think of
That's it.
anything
I'm
else.
out. He's tapping out. He's had enough. He's had enough. All right, let's tap in Miles and see what he's been up to since our last recording.
Pretty much. I'm almost at the end of Yakuza 8. You know, trying to get some at the final climax. You have to level your characters. You know, do one more thing before
Side quests.
Side quests before you start the finale, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm busy doing that. But today,
This very moment.
I play, was it Pragmata demo? This came out.
Oh,
Pragmata's
the Capcom one.
Yeah, with the little android
That
girl.
isn't Dead Space with little Mega Man.
Or was it Vanquish?
Mega Girl?
Because it reminds me of like they were Vanquish. For a
Oh
while.
yes, also Vanquish would also work.
So it's kind of neat. You know, it's the gameplay is a little different than I thought it was going to be, because when they show that the trailer, infamous trailer, like, was it from 2-3 years ago now?
I've lost count.
You know, it's like, what's going on here? Kind of like atmosphere.
It's just space and robots.
So and I think Ledger is supposed to get there eventually, according to wherever the synopsis of the story is. We'll go to Earth and do all that. But the game starts, the demo starts off, you at the space station. I guess you work at the space station as like a tech engineer, and oh no, the rogue AI took over the space station.
It happens.
So you find this android girl. She can hack. She's like a hack robot, I guess.
She's a hacker.
But no, they like a.
Does she go by the name Neo?
No.
Mm.
Her name is Diane, I guess. So the game starts because it's like a third-person shooter, kind of like, reminds me of like Resident Evil 4, the camera work.
Sure, makes sense.
Where it's like, the robots come by and they're tough. You can't take these guys normally because they're.
How would you normally take down androids? My first question.
I guess with a gun, I guess stun gun technically,
Mm.
according to the game. But they have very super armor and whatnot, so it's very hard to do it by yourself. So as you're shooting these characters, Diana, she hacks into a robot. There's like a grid will pop open up, I guess, like a little mini grid.
Mm-hmm.
And you use the PlayStation buttons. This is funny.
Okay.
And then you direct like the hacking system, through like different checkpoints, like the open up like certain there are different things you could do with the hacking, I guess. Like you increase damage to the gun or to the enemies, I guess. Like open up the.
You mean your gun gets stronger?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to increase your attack of your enemies. That's terrible.
I think you can. I actually did an accident by once because I went the wrong way.
So you have to pay attention to what you're doing, basically.
Yeah. So you had to, as you try and lock this guy, because the robots, no, they're not stopping. They keep going towards you.
So this is all in real time. And,
Yeah.
And you're also solving the puzzle in real time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you mentioned it, and then you lock, and then boom, you do damage, and you keep shooting for a bit. Then you gotta do it over again, pretty much.
What's the puzzle like? Is it like, I don't know, BioShock pipes or what?
No, it's very straightforward. It's kind of like you're moving around like a 8x or a 5x5 grid.
Okay.
And you just move you're pressing the face buttons up and down to like move through certain checkpoints to get to like a goal, which is like a green checkpoint. But along the way, you have to like hit like certain like things to do damage. So like because you pick up like different power ups, like you could add like more time to deal more damage or.
So it's just a grid you have to cover path to.
Yeah.
And on the way to the exit sign to, I'm assuming, destroy the shields, you could get extra bonuses.
Yeah, pretty much.
But if you're not careful, you'll actually exit off the wrong way, which then will enhance the enemies.
Yeah, or
on the way there, you'll accidentally boost them versus boost yourself.
Yeah.
Or your partner, I guess, in this scenario.
Yeah, okay, it's just a demo. So
Right. I'm just trying to understand the mechanics since I'm not used to third person over the shoulder shooting with puzzle at the same time.
And you get like you have your normal stun gun, which like you have 6 shots, and then you pick up like other damage weapons, which are red. Like a shotgun or. There's like a pulse rifle. I guess is the best way to try to charge.
Sounds
it
like Resident Evil 4 question mark.
And then you have your green weapons, which were more like kind of defense. Like a stun net or And there's a new one because every time you do a run, apparently you unlock more stuff. Apparently, but the goal is that you try. You go back and forth between because those guys they have limited ammo, so you can't be willy nilly with your.
You have limited ammo.
Well, you have a limited ammo with your stun gun, but all the other guns you get.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You have to be. You have to worry about item management. Because
So it's a little survival horror.
And I said you move around, solve puzzles. A lot of like traversal, And and you also you could, I guess, since your suits, you could like hover, I guess, like certain instances. So you have to run and jump to do certain less platforming, but very.
I was gonna say so platforming.
Yeah, but like
Because
very.
I could assume platforming in a Resident Evil like game 4, that is.
Yeah. So like I said, the game's pretty short. It's like maybe like 15-ish minutes, to do the demo.
Hmm.
The game comes out at the end of March.
Okay.
I mean, no, end of April. My bad.
Okay, a little farther, but not too much.
Yeah, which surprising considering like that game's been like.
I remember they announced it originally with like PS5 announcements, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so
That was in 2020.
yeah.
Yikes.
And I said, and the neat thing is that every run you do of the demo, because like at the end, like Neil Diana draws a picture or something like that, and it changes every time you do the demo. So you get like number 8, number 7.
Okay. Break your high score.
Yeah, because like it shows like your like how fast you finish the demo. Like I got mine like 13 minutes so far, so I got like, number 6, but only in the demo. So there's that. So I said it was kind of neat. It was a neat thing I did this week.
Then that's it.
Yeah, that's very much.
Okay, well, I'm just kidding. Is this okay? All right, I guess. All right. Well, that was a hell of a demo, I guess.
I did play a couple times. I was curious if I go faster, did I get more pictures?
You wanted more pictures. Did you get the picture you wanted, Miles?
No.
We'll get there, brother. You got until March to get there.
Yeah.
It's not a limited time demo, I hope.
No. Yeah.
They pull it away from you.
Like Goofy Luminous Rise demo, which like lasted like a week.
That's a thing. I'm not a fan of these limited time demos.
Well, you better get it now because you're not. Oh well, then I guess you didn't.
Back in my day, when you had the demo, you got to play it as much times you want on the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
Or like Goofy Nintendo when they had like you go like the Goofy DS. I think it was like 3DS. That you play a demo like like play like 25 times.
Oh yes.
And you go like we better count. You only got one more try to do it. Like what are we doing?
Nintendo has some weird practices. That's for sure. All right, it sounds like it's up to me now to rally us and cheer us on for our week segment here on the podcast.
Yes, I'll give you my energy.
Yes, please do. And for once, actually, some things to talk about in this week.
Wow.
I'm not digging for any scraps.
A raise first, everybody.
It's finally happened. Apparently, it took me a whole month of 2026, but I have some things to talk about today, gentlemen. And the first one will be an anime that Frank has also mentioned before on this very podcast, probably maybe close to a year now or so, I think. But me and Miles have slowly been watching Shangri-La Fontier.
Oh.
And for those who don't know, it is definitely it's about video games without a death game scenario associated with it.
Yeah.
Or no isekai nonsense. It's just a pro. Oh, no, I guess his friend's the pro gamer. He's a junk gamer because he only plays the worst VR games.
Trash games.
That's what he calls them, trash games. But in Shangri-La Fontier is like the AAA S tier game that he finally decided to play. And by him playing the worst games ever, it's a way to justify him being OP as hell early on in the thing because he's so used to being frustration and be held back by limitations of bad game designs for so many games out there. When he plays a game that actually works as well as it should with its VR mechanics, I guess how VR works with the mind and body and this and that. That explains why he's so good in the game so early on, which, the writer came up with something to justify it. So, hey, that's more than most anime scenarios I've seen. But yes, like there's no death game scenario, no SAO, no dot hack.
They come in and out, say please.
So they spend a lot of time. Most of the series is inside the video game, but there's no over dramatic. It's just, hey, I'm having a good time playing this game, and I want to see what happens with the storyline and see if I could get that high score and do better in the game because he is quite the addictive gamer, let's say. And for whatever reason, because of a curse early on, he has to run around the rest of the game with only a
bird head.
A bird head. So when you look at the cover art of this series, you might be confused, like, what the hell is this show about? And it's an ongoing joke where he's just all day running around doing these over-the-top shenanigans, but also wearing this very stupid-looking bird mask. And, of course, the animators lean into it when, like, he's eating food. He always has to open up the beak and stuff like the whatever, the donut and his mask and this and that. So, yeah, they have fun with it. And, like, it's not taken seriously. For the most part, it's just video game the anime, I guess, MMO, the video game anime.
Well, it's unique because it tells you off the bat this is a video game. There's no really life stakes, but he's doing things because he wants to do these things,
Yeah. And yeah, so it's a fun, very big adventure show at the end of the day. Early on, he meets, I guess, the secret. Once again, the writer tries to come up with little gimmicks to make him stronger than everyone else, if you will, because then he meets all the bunny towns, who's run by a giant bunny Yakuza man.
Yeah, giant Yakuza.
Who might be one of the captains from Soul Society.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. It's silly. Like I said, it's very silly. It's fun, very adventure. Want to see what they're gonna get up to next, and you don't have to worry about. The worst thing is gonna happen. It's just a game over, and people ranting on like, "Oh, what a loser! I can't believe you choked on that spot," this and that, and so it's kind of funny to see the friends he meets along the way.
Yeah, the friends my butt friends.
Yes, who they love beating each other up and letting them know when they mess up, they messed up. And so yeah, and it's just really well animated, has no one to have fun with the scenario, and just understands gamer lingo and video game nonsense.
And the world makes sense for what he wants to do. Like, it makes sense story-wise how he does certain things. They actually have a clever way of trying to explain, like, oh, that's able to do this because he's able to use this technique, or he just scums his way through, and that's how he's able to get like items he gets.
Versus just he just gets stronger because he believes in the heart of the cards.
Yeah,
that's all you need. That's all you need. So yeah, it sounds typical and boring, but it's better than what it sounds like if you just read like the synopsis on like Mal or whatever.
I was like,
so give it a shot.
The best parts is when he's like so overconfident. It's like, man, I almost choked that one really hard.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I got this.
But yeah, on front, it's like, yeah, I totally had that. You can't scratch me. He's like, oh my god, this guy just almost killed me. So yeah, it's like I said, he's not Kirito. Whew. So
thank God.
Indeed. So if you're looking at something fun and exciting, pretty good animation, it can't go wrong. We finished season 1 recently. We started season 2. And I am curious because towards the end of season 1, there's a little hint of there's a little bit more maybe drama or something going on, but not for the main characters, but something about the game world. Itself. Yes, the video game world itself. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it perhaps. So we'll have to see if we even get that far in season 2. So that was the big thing, anime-wise. And the other thing, video game-wise, was finally dusting off and looking at 2025 games of the year, I guess. And because last week or so, I booted up Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I think that's the official title. It's a mouthful. And this is everyone's favorite not JRPG game of 2025 that I've taken a chance to look at through my Xbox Game Pass. So it cost me nothing, quotation marks. I knew very little about the game. I just heard a very rough concept of what the story's about, and I hear it plays like Persona. And I like Persona, so I was like, all right. For those who don't know, the quick way the story goes in this one is it's takes place in France, but not the France we know from this reality, let's say. Because apparently they kind of talk about it, but it's like kind of really skipped over. Basically, some calamity happens, and throughout, I think maybe it's just Paris or France. I don't know if it's the whole world.
Well, it has to be in Paris.
But my understanding is basically Paris gets cut off from the rest of the world, and some kind of being shows up and kind of takes control of this new environment, world, whatever hub. They're closed off from the world. And this creature is called, or being, I don't know, you don't really see it from just from a distance. It's called the Paintress. And apparently the Paintress has the ability to, if you're, let's say you're age 50, right? And it writes down the age 50, anyone who's 50 years and older gets Thanos snapped away. And that's been going on for multiple generations. I guess it would be 67 years. Because in this game, as the name of time implies, you're on the 33rd expedition, and each year, pretty much, it's an annual thing, so they know when this is going to happen. Every year, the Paintress shows up, writes a new number, and it's been going down from 100 all the way down to presumably 0, right? Which there goes humanity, or at least the humanity that's stuck in this little pocket universe.
Yeah, he's going in order.
They're going in order. My understanding, it's not random, so it's just been going. And so every year, there's a group of heroes, I guess you call them scouts if you're Attack on Titan fans, who go out to hunt down the Paintress, because apparently she lives, because she's like on a remote island and there's a whole lake in front of them, and people go off on this journey and no one ever knows what happens to them, right? And so they've been doing this for decades at this point. And finally, our main protagonist, who is voiced by Daredevil himself, in the English dub, you can put on different voice tracks, but I have it in English. He goes off with his other expeditions to. I'm going to change the cycle this time around. I'm the chosen hero, and this and this and that. And so you're off on your expedition after a big tearful farewell to his romantic interests, because they were age 34 and he is age 33. And so he has a big tearful opening, I guess, for the series. I mean, spoiler, but it's also the beginning of the game.
Wow, it's hard. Right?
It's his motivation to kill the paintress. And so he's off with his other 33 age-year companions. And as you can imagine with a world like that, I just teased. It's funny because like at age 33, like, oh, you're an old man. Ouch. Thanks, game.
Oh no, that Scott Pilgrim is like
even older Scott. Yeah,
he's only like 38.
Yeah, I know, right? That's funny. So yes, and so you're off on an adventure, and as soon as you land on the Paintress Island, but it's a giant island, so it's not like a Gilligan's Island or something like that. Everything goes awry real quick, and explosions. Think of Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Landing on the beach. That's what happens.
That's the beginning of the game.
That's the beginning of the game after your big tearful send off. And so everything goes wrong. You get separated. People are easily annihilated in seconds. Once again, Attack on Titan would work here as well. And sure enough, then you find other party members that survive that beach. And in this whole world that's all twisted and turned, which is, I guess, the whole art style of the game. Because it's very fantasy-like in its aesthetic and design. But I don't know how to describe it because it's just very, like, things for whatever reason, just like, oh, this beer can is now floating forever in this, and for some reason, we don't know why, but it is. So stuff like that is, and everything's like one of the lands you go to is like, oh, like coral reefs and seaweed, but you're not underwater, but it's kind of like you're underwater. So it's all very trippy aesthetics and vibes it's going for, just to feel like you're no longer in Kansas, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the world. But gameplay wise, it is very much Persona 5 in particular. It's even tries to do like the UI cool aesthetic with like, here's your commands and the choices and the, waiting for your turn and what your move scenario is. And certain characters do have weaknesses like Persona, but the difference is in Persona, right, you hit the weakness and you're able to like pass the baton over to another member.
Yeah.
And ideally you knock everyone down on the weakness to the enemy party, and then you can do an all-out attack.
Yeah.
That's not really what happens in this one. You just get to do extra damage after you knock down an enemy to the weakness with another character. Or there's other combos and techniques you can use in the game where if like Gustav could like mark a character, an enemy character, and his other member in his party could be like, if so-and-so if enemy is marked with an X, you could do double damage or this or this or that. And each character has some kind of mechanic and gimmick like that. Gustav is all about, he can't do any like real like magic or this or that. His thing is like, as long as he keeps doing stuff and he doesn't, and even when he takes damage, he basically keeps gathering up energy up to like 10, and then he can unleash it as like one of his skill attacks. So like that's his thing, is waiting and biding time to do an ultimate attack. Their other member of your party she's like the ultimate magic element user, so she can use fire, electric, ice, everything you can imagine, typical stuff. Then the other one, she has different she's Dante from Devil May Cry 3. She has different stances where she could be on a defensive stance, she could be on an offensive stance, or in a hybrid in-between stance. But you have to do certain things in order to get to those stances, and some of those stances only last for like a turn or so. Yeah. And you have to be prepared, once you do a certain attack with her, in the next stance she might be more vulnerable. Yeah. So you have to be prepared for that. But it is very turn-based. It does make me think of Persona, kind of, but also really Final Fantasy X.
Oh, okay.
Because you can see, like, on the side of, like, who's going to attack next and this and that. So you kind of plan out in advance. Yeah. You have your skill points, your attributes, speed and power, defense, your typical stuff you see in RPGs. And it's okay. I guess I'm a little confused with the Game of the Year recognition this game is constantly getting everywhere. I like it, but I'm definitely not in love with it. At least not early on. But I'm probably, I don't know, I must be like 6-8 hours into it, be my guess overall. Because I finally unlocked the 4th party member. And I don't know, I think sometimes the mechanics are just too much for me. And kind of like how Frank was saying, sometimes there's a lot of text happening. You have to squint and read, and I'm playing this on the TV screen from the couch.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what does this do? And this and that. There's like a lot of asterisks of chains of events. Like if you do this, this will occur. And if you do this, this will occur. So there's a lot of layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like maybe it's a little too overwhelming, at least early on, even for a veteran RPG player like myself. I feel like if they solely released the extra layers of that onion, I think it'd be clicking for me a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the one thing I will definitely say is what I hear a lot about it, and this is the part, definitely the 5 out of 5, the home run, 10 out of 10, however you want to phrase it. The music. The music slaps, as the kids would say. It gets the vibe. It knows what to be dramatic during the sad beats, especially like the intro's pretty sad, it's somber. But then when the music's happening, it's a little bit more upbeat and funky in a new land. He knows how to change like the motif, the theme of that area. So the music's outstanding for sure. But yeah, I'm hoping it'll stick with me. But I'm at the point, my next session will either
Make it or break it?
Yeah, for me. Because there's a lot of games on the back catalog, including the Persona 3 remake. And I guess that's the other thing. It's like it's hard for me to not think of Persona. And I really love Persona. And this game does not have the budget or team size to pull off a Persona-like project, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said, Persona, Final Fantasy X fans rejoice.
Yeah.
It's closer to one of those games than a newer JRPG. I feel like there's one more thing. Am I crazy? I guess that's it. But yeah, I guess those are the 2 things I've been spending most of my free time on. Couple things behind the scenes of this podcast / server stuff, which is not exciting talk, but that's what I've been doing since the last episode of Otaku. Oh boy, this episode sure is juicy, isn't it, Commercial Miles?
That's right, Commercial Ray. Hopefully, hope you are enjoying our takes on gacha games and Frank's always crazy wild tales of things he goes through this week.
I wish there was like a way for other people to like listen to all these episodes that we've been doing for several years now of the Otaku podcast. Do you think there's such a place out there on the internet for them to listen?
Well, you can always check out our website at www.takuotaku.com for easy access. Though we're also on your favorite podcast listener.
What? Like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the various podcast catchers out there? Whoa, that's crazy.
I know, right? We're going everywhere. We're even on YouTube.
Whoa, are we real YouTubers, Miles?
We're nothing but YouTube shields now these days.
Too bad we actually don't charge a penny for this podcast.
But with your help, one day we might.
The true goal of this podcast. All right, gentlemen, it's finally time to get to our main topic of this very podcast episode. It's time to talk about My Hero Academia season finale, final season. I forget what it says.
Now it's not part 1.
Would be season 8, I think, number-wise.
Yeah, good words could be like Attack on Titan. Part 4.
Part 1 of final season. Part 2, I swear for reals this time, final season. Cross my heart, hope to die. No. We're not going to jump into spoilers just yet, but this is definitely going to be a spoilerific of everything My Hero Academia. So if by some chance you haven't caught up to the series or you're halfway through the series, you might want to come back to this episode of the podcast because I hate for you to spoil a pretty good show overall. But gentlemen, let me just start off with expectations and feelings about My Hero Academia. Early days when the show came out back in, 2015, 16? So let's start with Frank. Frank, how did you feel about this show early on? Did you have high hopes for it, or were you just watching it just to keep up with the popularity contest?
You mean this season or just overall?
Overall, the very beginning, Frank. How did you get into the series, and how were you feeling about this and that?
How did I get into it? I don't know. I don't remember. I just somehow I started watching it. I know I started watching it when it was like on the 3rd season. So maybe somebody told me to watch it.
So you caught up a little late to the series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting anything. I watched it. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
So pretty much after you watched season 1, you were hooked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hooked, and then I kept watching and finished it pretty quickly. And then I started reading a bit of the manga, and it was pretty good. I think I read the Yakuza part, so I enjoyed that. So yeah, I was into it big time, and probably my favorite part early on was that Yakuza part.
I think that's season 4 for the anime.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a very good season. Okay, so instant fan. It sounds like once you a little late to the party, but once you caught up, you were in that party. You were dancing away.
Well, maybe not dancing, but
okay. Well, You were tapping your foot maybe to the rhythm a little bit?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay,
with
let's
that.
go with that. Let's go with that. And what about you, Miles? When did you start watching the show, and do you have any high expectations in that?
I want to say that we started watching it at season 2.
I think that's correct.
Because we were, it's a classic. Well, it's a new Shonen thing. You gotta check out what the kids are into now. Made this one.
Maybe this one will be the good one.
As you said, every time so far. But it had a good run. I mean, it lasted the longest, everybody, and no one seems to want to do anything since.
10 years? I mean, the only closest, but it's not a Shonen Jump, would be Attack on Titan, I guess.
Yeah. But it was season 2 when they were at Sports Festival, when especially when Deku was being more reckless. It's just like, they'll fix it.
It's a game. I know how to play games.
And I said, no, bro, no, you can't do certain things anymore because you messed up.
To be young and foolish, let's say.
But then that's when it had potential because it kind of learned from other shows at the time. Like from like Naruto or something. That's like, oh, there's consequence to your actions. We're not. It's not just blasting through powers. Isn't that like we were like everything had a reason for it, and there's a story behind it. We're not doing a typical, oh no, here's your Sasuke arc, but then not really the same arc.
Yeah, it's funny that did happen.
It's like, yeah, normal Shonen would do this. We're going to do this instead. So it was refreshing at the time. Yeah, so there was a lot of good potential when we started.
Yeah, sure enough. And I was trying to remember if we did watch season 1 together or not. But I guess we must have.
I think we did because we saw season 2 started. We want to get in. Let's get in onto this bandwagon because we were technically late.
Yes, because I do remember hearing about My Hero Academia, and if I'm not mistaken, and the older you get, the timeline gets screwier in your head. Let me tell you, time means nothing. I'm pretty sure Naruto finished by then, I think, or pretty close to it.
Yeah, I think it was like a year afterwards, I think.
Something like that. So I was already and I was I still am, Naruto fan, if you want to pronounce it that way, potato. And so I was just kind of like, another shonen. You wish you could be like my little orange ninja boy, but you're all cheap carbon copies. Get out of here.
Well, I think like you said with comic books, that's been already done.
Yeah, superheroes. Never heard that concept before. So like I had very low expectations going into it, but I was like, fine, it's the new popular thing. It's the same reason why I watch the JJKs and the Demon Slayers of today. It's that same here we go again, right? And I remember watching those first 13 episodes of season 1 and being like, oh no, I think I might enjoy this. And I can tell you, in fact, exactly when I started becoming a true fan of the series. And it was indeed in season 2 and that sports festival arc. And it's even exactly the scene. It's when it's like the last hurdle, I think, in the second race, if I'm not mistaken. With the landmines. And Deku's like way behind. He needs to catch up. And he has that stupid door with him from the previous obstacle course.
Yeah.
And he's got to capture the Bakugo and Icy Hot. And it's like, oh no, I'm out of momentum from flying off this door. What do I do now? Oh, wait a minute. I got this big steel door and it's full of landmines. Why didn't I use these explosions to keep bouncing forward? And you love the fact the anime and him grabbing the door and slamming it down.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't know, DuckTalesing bouncing his way up to victory off that nonsense. So that was the part where, this is Shonen Jump nonsense, but there's a little thought behind that. Because what could survive a blast? I bet you the stupid door. Because those blasts, obviously, because this is all an official school festival event. They're little explosions, not to really hurt somebody. Like I said, and that's when I definitely became a fan of the series. And expectations kept growing and growing from there. And for the most part, if not halfway, at least 3/4 mark, it definitely met that.
Yeah.
It was season 6. I was starting to get a little bit wavery about this series.
Yeah.
And in particular, the beginning of season 7, which we actually did cover here already in the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear that, otaku.com, type in My Hero Academia, you'll find it. And so that's when I've been very nervous ever since season 6, early season 7, of like, is this show just going to
just choke out?
Just miss the mark in the very end of it. And so I've been very hesitant. But finally, this episode of the podcast, I've concluded My Hero Academia in anime and a little bit in manga form. How did you, I guess quickly, curiosity since I brought it up, Frank, did you ever feel that way about the ending of the series? Were you hesitant about it, or do you have confidence it was going to pull it off?
Well, I talk to Ivan a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And every day, to this day.
Every day?
Every day that I talk to him, he almost always referenced My Hero Academia. Well, it's not as bad as My Hero Academia. They did this wrong, and I'm like, poor My Hero Academia, always catching strays.
Poor Deku.
So he's like really hurt about it. So I kind of have low expectations because of him.
That makes sense.
And at times I'm like, no, there's no way it can be that. bad.
Right,
I just kept telling, there's no way. Like, you're crazy. Like, that was my mentality going in.
Okay. And what about you, Miles? Do you have any hesitation as well?
Well, because Ivan, and I feel like because
He was on this podcast for a little bit.
They did.
He had his time.
Every time he just mentions it over and over, constantly, like he's scarred for life over there.
Now that you mentioned, I do remember him being like flabbergasted when you said season 7 was one of your favorite animes of that year.
Yeah.
And he just looked like you were speaking in Chinese or like an alien language. Like, what did this guy just say? There's no way this is possible. It's not true. It's impossible.
You know, I feel, I said before back then, you know, although they're the shonen flobbles, as every shonen Jump series does it.
They are for kids.
But you know, the when they hits good moments, there's good moments that I don't see other than Naruto maybe hits those moments very well. To me, you know, especially since we previewed the last part, we're like, I don't know. It felt like the every arc got shorter and shorter just to get to this point.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, then fair enough. I guess we all had a little bit woes. And without getting to full spoilers just yet, how did you feel about the ending, Frank, of My Hero Academia? How this final season?
I liked it. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fitting for what it was. Thank God.
It wasn't as bad as you were told.
Yeah.
The rumors. All right. Sounds. And what about you, Miles? Since we haven't heard, first time we just you and me both watch it. But how did you feel overall, without getting to the details?
Overall, I was satisfied. It, like every other shonen, it ended up like every shonen Jump is. They didn't rivalize the sport. That's funny. They didn't rivalize at the end. It ends like every other shonen Jump thing kind of ends, but it still managed to kind of land at least safely in that, you know, I'm not exactly surprised, but I was hoping a little bit more, but you know, I'm satisfied with what I got. You know, it wasn't like a 10 out of 10, but you know, like an 8, like an 8, 7, you know, a good score. Just, you know, I know it's been the longest one. No one else has bothered to try to do a series that long in a while, other than Oda.
Well, there's everyone, and there's Oda. Oda's his own category. Mr. One Piece, he's insane. He's absolutely insane. Oh, One Piece. That was what I forgot from my week. There we go. Yeah, I caught up on the anime, Frank.
Oh, you're ahead of me then.
Oh, ho. I guess for myself, it was. I do remember Ivan and his distaste for that the ending of the series, if not more of it, and it's okay. At the end of the day, the ending is okay. I was hoping for it to do better than the previous Shonen Jump stuff because that was my mindset early on of, as you were mentioning, Miles, this is a successor to Naruto and Dragon Ball and the big, you know, Bleach, not One Piece because One Piece is forever. I had very high expectations for it, and it technically didn't meet it, but for better for worse, because of my nervousness, maybe Ivan's, I was starting to lower my expectations a lot more at the very end, and so it didn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
But I will say, without getting into spoilers just yet, but I'll get into the details if you're curious, is what really lacks is not so much the final fight. I think that was fine. There's problems with it a little bit here and there, but overall it's, you know, it's not my thing I really want to dissect and talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's the epilogue. The epilogue is half-baked.
I didn't even there. It's
he had the ingredients, and he was thinking about getting a mixing bowl, and never really got that far.
Well, he didn't put it in the oven. He put it in the microwave and let it cook that way and see if it vents out.
And so yes, that's my biggest complaints without getting to it just yet. And I was so somewhat surprised and confused by that epilogue. I even went and read the manga version of the series since I've never read it until now, or. Not made it sound like I did not read the whole damn thing. That would have been impressive if I did. But I read the last chapter, pretty much where this season kind of starts is where I finished the series at. And yeah, if you're, by the way, non-spoiler thing, if you're curious, what's the difference? They're pretty much the same. So yes, if you're curious, I saved you some time. There you go. But yeah, I still do think at the end of the day, it is the successor to the big three. As a 90s, early 2000s kid, we always had the big three in our heads, right?
Yeah.
Either it was Dragon Ball, Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, something of these sorts. The big Shonen Jump action battle series, right? I do think that at the end of the day, My Hero carried that torch, and I think succeeded overall beyond what Bleach and Naruto did at their point in time in the anime scene, in the industry as a series, and this and this and that. But yeah, there are definitely things we will talk about soon enough where I have questions, and maybe someone here can answer them for me. So we stay tuned. So spoiler talk is coming right at you right now. So all right, gentlemen, we're finally here on our spoiler part of the podcast, and let's start off with Frank, because Frank is usually the most optimistic member here on the podcast.
Oh, are we expecting negative talk here?
I mean, for me, as the fake analytic YouTuber anime junkie I am, all I can see is the flaws, and I want to point and talk about them and be, look at the zit, it's right there. It's not symmetric, it's 2 degrees off.
That camera's angled.
Hi, Defty Kid.
I'll have to fix it in post. No.
Hi, Defty Kid.
Yeah, indeed, yes. What do you want to start off, Frank? You want to start with the highs, the lows?
Spoiler talk, right?
What's the things you enjoyed or didn't enjoy? What's on your mind when I say My Hero Academia final season, Frank?
Well, I guess I just want to mention some stuff that I was thinking about when you were talking. Well, first of all, I think the ending is different, and I think you might have read the already edited ending. Because, I guess spoilers.
Oh.
And I was talking to Ivan about this because I'm like, what's the difference? Like, what did they fix? Like, in the original ending, he just quits. Not quits, but he just loses his powers, and he ends up being working, and that's it. Everybody just disappears. He doesn't end up working with nobody again.
Oh, the end. It was originally the end.
Yeah.
Because in the version I read has the extra 4 pages.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I thought it was like oh, that makes more sense in my head.
And then they added the part where he gets the suit and he gets,
Oh.
So that was the difference.
I see.
Another thing I wanted to mention was that I feel like this kind of got the Game of Thrones treatment. Where everybody had such high expectations.
Right.
And for one thing or another, maybe the guy got tired, let me just end it, or he ran out of ideas. I do feel that he didn't think how it was going to end.
Right, until he got there. Yes.
Because I feel like even with the power developments, I feel like originally it was just going to be muscle. That's it.
Yes.
So then I don't know if he thought it was cool, or if he felt he wanted to make it longer, or he was in the long track and it's okay, let me just end it and then just cut a lot of ideas off. Either way, I do feel like, because in Game of Thrones they ran out of material.
Right. Yes.
And this one, I feel like maybe he just wanted to end it and it just fell off at the end. It wasn't terrible, but I do think that so many people liked it so much that it was just oh, this is not what we envisioned.
True.
The Stranger Things thing. They just
yes.
They thought it was a fake ending. Cause
I was wondering who's gonna say Stranger Things first or Game of Thrones first on this part.
It wasn't a terrible ending. It was just it was just so high up there that it's
almost impossible.
It feels bad.
Yeah.
The other thing I think happened with this show was that, and for me, season 5 was, if I'm not mistaken, was the bad one.
The weakest season for you?
If I'm not mistaken, that's the one where the magicians come out.
Magicians?
Yeah, the old guy and the little.
Oh, well, neither one's a magician.
I don't know why I keep calling them magicians.
Yeah, neither one has a magic quirk or something like that. But but that's the end. Season 4 still, I think. It's the end of season 4.
When they had the break and they're working about the school.
Yes, the school festival, rock festival.
So I think what happened was because I remember specifically not liking that part. And then I think talking to other people, they were like, oh, this is kind of a weird part. And then after that, it doesn't go into a serious arc. It goes into oh, well, another test.
Yes, that's the following season.
Plus, there was I'm not mistaken, sometime around this point, there was a long gap between seasons. It might have been COVID related. I don't know. So we were stuck with this worst part of the series for a long time. And then they came back with what felt like fillers.
There was more of a gap, I want to say. But I remember old school anime where you never got a season 2, so a few years is pretty small to me.
Yeah, but in comparison,
compared to everything, yes, definitely true.
In comparison to like we kind of get one a year.
Yes,
and it's
very
like,
true.
Oh, there's a year gap, and we have
Right. We want more.
Our latest memory of this was not the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
make sense.
I don't know what exactly happened in season 6 because ending the 4, 5, and 6 are kind of a blur.
Yes, I had to look it up, and 5 was wobbly. 6, I was starting to get annoyed.
Yeah, and it felt like the story wasn't going anywhere. But once it was like, oh, now they're gonna end it. It kind of picked up.
That's true.
Kind of like, okay, I'm glad we're finally moving along.
Yes.
And this season it was more of that. Like, hey, Todoroki, this is your final fight.
Here you go.
Urahara, this is your final fight.
Right.
Others,
Shonen
let's make you contribute.
You'll have a small role, but at least everyone does have a small role in the big overall finale climax.
I did appreciate that he tried to, or I don't know, I keep saying he, but that they tried to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They tried to incorporate all the characters
Mm-hmm.
that they, spent time building up.
Right.
One thing that I just found it funny. They were so into like, well, you need to make sure you save these people, make good decisions, and they like all the tests were like kind of like if you're doing a cop in the cardboards come out. It's like, did you shoot the enemy or did you shoot?
Or you say the kid?
Yeah. Oh, you made this kid cry during the crisis. And at the end, it didn't matter. At the end, all that stuff didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was just like, Deku, you're the strongest. Get in there. Save us.
Yeah, it definitely becomes the Goku, Vegeta, Naruto, Sasuke things you get towards the end of these Shonen Jump things.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice if like more of the whole, I'm going to use this door with the explosives and to, get to the bad guys or whatever, use my environment. So that was a bit of a bummer, but I enjoyed it. I think it hit the emotional beats for me. I enjoyed learning about Todoroki's story. I thought that was kind of one of the more interesting ones.
That's definitely the most emotional one I found it personally attached to.
The sparkly guy was not bad either. His story was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nice both in a redemption as the character and as a plot line that was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I would not have mind if like they killed him or something.
I mean, someone's got to go.
Yeah, I mean, because they did do a bad thing. So.
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess it's fine,
Right.
They did mold it in a way where I'm fine with them forgiving him.
That's true. That is surprising.
The one I did not like was the Gravity Girl feeling sorry for the knife, the villain. I didn't buy it. They didn't buy that one.
Yeah, it's one of those like there wasn't enough to really get me to get this. It's just a generic. It's sad that someone lost their life.
I feel like the guy probably had that idea that he wanted Urahara and that villain, I forget her name, to have
Yandere girl. Even I don't remember.
This moment, and it just happened so suddenly.
Himiko.
That's what it is.
There you go. I even have a shirt of her, and I
big fan.
don't know. I'm embarrassed to wear that shirt in public.
Oh, and then why you buy the shirt?
No, it's just too weird. Like,
my next question is, why'd you buy it?
That's a good question.
There you go. We know his favorite characters on the show now.
Maybe a little Gondor.
No,
I got some bad news for you, Frank.
Okay. I'll answer it.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Okay.
There's a Frank story. Here we go.
Remember the Catherine collectible edition?
Oh, the video game.
Where they gave you the underwear.
Yes, actually.
And they and then they give you a pillow of the girl. Which I like the case, but I wouldn't use it because that's how I feel about that shirt.
I see. So it was like you got the deluxe season of My Hero that season, and it came with that shirt.
No. I mean, like, I like it. It's just not something I want to wear in public.
I see.
You got a convention.
She's making a weird face. That's why.
That checks out.
Where was it?
Your favorite T-shirts.
Oh yes. No, I wasn't talking about that. It's just it felt like it was something they should have been working on from early seasons, like Urahara and Himiko, kind of like with Deku and Bakugo. Where their relationship is always touched upon, and with these two, it was like I don't even remember them fighting until the last season.
They had quick little skirmishes before that, but they weren't anything memorable, I guess.
But like at least conversations, like let me understand this. I wonder why she's back or something.
They actually technically kind of do that.
Yeah,
but it's very small.
Well,
it's not enough to sell it for me, but he does kind of set it up.
They needed. I think he needed more.
Well,
I didn't.
Yes,
buy it.
I agree.
I think in general, as we further went on from season 5 forward, a lot of the female characters start kind of disappearing more in the background.
Oh,
Well, that's just Shonen Jump series
Wait
for
a
you.
second, but no, it's a Shonen series. You're like, yeah, that is usually what happens, right? But for a good half run there, like everyone had some quality time here. You know, it was like everyone had a spotlight here. I feel as we keep going forward, like we got
Right.
more Shonen, and less like unique.
But I mean,
stuff.
that was when you have, because he had 20 students in that class.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. No writer's gonna come up with 20 different endings for each of these characters. It's just not gonna happen.
at the very least, I think he should have powered up certain characters who were like promising students.
That's true.
Like they should have made the girl that make items stronger. They should have made the frog girl stronger. She was like
Yeah, she was. Yeah, that she was up there in the very
Yeah.
beginning, and then she
Yeah.
just kind of fell off.
even though I don't like this guy, they should have made the guy that runs fast.
Oh,
Like,
and
cause he was like a
Ingenium?
main. Yeah, he was like a main.
He
one.
wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
there he was like the other one on the top
Like-
5 popular list, if you will.
So I think that was a missed opportunity instead of making
Yeah.
it like the Goku Vegeta show.
Well, he guys said it was going to be a Todoroki and
Well, you knew that.
Deku, and it was with those guys, and that's pretty much.
And that's what
it.
happens, I think, in season 5 when they join Endeavor's school, where it's like, now this is our main 3, and we're only really going to focus. Which you knew, once again, it's inevitable. But I guess you were hoping they would wait a little, like another season to get there. But it's that whole season 5, and that's when it started getting a little shaky for me.
The terrible ending or a terrible opening.
Oh, absolutely the worst ending or opening by a miles.
And as I said, for them, there's other ones, but for My Hero standards, like that was a flat.
Am I crazy or is this the does this season have the opening that it's a lot like the Full Metal Alchemist opening?
Which one?
Full Metal Alchemist opening?
The
Brotherhood
like the
or
last one.
original?
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you're about the guys saying the first one.
Yeah,
so-
that was the other neat thing. They have the guys from the first opening to do this song for the last season.
And they did a call back and a lot of unique touches at the end.
The ending's also very good. It's the bump the chicken
Also-
guys.
Also, it's a spoiler.
Well, it's a whole, hey, it's the sing from the thing, you know.
Don't watch it then.
Yeah, if you definitely don't watch that ending before you watch the series, because then you'll just get spoiled by the whole damn series. All right, fair points. You want to pass the baton, Frank, or you got something else?
Yeah, I'm just looking up the opening, making sure it's what I'm.
All right, you do your research. So let's go to Miles. Miles, what's on your brain when I say My Hero final season spoilers?
Well, I'm surprised that All Might survived
Again.
somehow magically through.
Somehow he should have died like 3 times, and none of the times he died.
Just refused to give in. Which actually, I'm the one person probably in the world who says, I like that.
Well, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's I figured out he would knowing this guy's stories. He's not gonna go out like that.
To me at this point, I honestly never thought he was going to, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it just seemed like if he kept him alive that last time, there's no reason he's going to kill him now. There's no reason for him. Because, and it's funny because there's like the fake out when he fights All for One at the end there, and it doesn't go the way that he was hoping, the hero's glory death, if you will.
Yeah.
Maybe I mentioned this before on the podcast. I just think it's interesting. And even they make reference to it at the very end when he's having like the mind vision death talks with Night Eye?
Nah, yeah.
The guy who could see into the future.
Poor Night Eye.
Poor Night Eye. And that was a good season, by the way. Because he's the one who predicted that you'll die a brutal death, an unspeakable brutal death, whatever he says in English. And he says, oh, but I was supposed to die. Everyone knows the master needs to die. We have to pass the baton on to the next generation. He's like, you've been reading way too many comic books. And that's what I'm saying. It's very much a comic book trope that once again, and you mentioned this before, that there's times the writer says, nah, we're not going to do that. It's been done before. I'm going to just go the opposite path just to be fucking different. So I'm not doing it.
You know what I did like about him not dying? That to me, it kind of justified him, like, giving him the suit.
Yes, also, before that final scene, yes. I probably mentioned this in season 7, when we did our season 7 review spoiler talk.
Yeah.
Is I do like that because it brings back the very beginning of episode 1 of can I be a hero if I don't have a power, a quirk, or this and that?
Yeah.
And by him being quirkless now, and he becomes the Armored All Might, Batman fans rejoice. I think it proves the point once again, because before that moment, a lot of the scenario being focused on quirks. I got all the quirks, you got all the quirks, everyone's got quirks, everyone's, it became too much of a power level Shonen Jump nonsense, which also inevitable, right? But it becomes focused and precise once again by having All Might still around and him putting up a fight that as a defenseless person can be, and give evil Superman a run for his money. That's a good day for Dark Knight Returns fans.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
I do like he incorporate all his students' ability into that suit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh yeah, well he's used this power. Oh, there it is. There's his ability right there.
There you go. Check all the boxes.
Man, he's loaded.
He's thought of every scenario. And the other cool thing is I like the fact that, and they do this also in the manga too, fun fact, because that the how he gets that suit is from the character that's only in the My Hero Academia movie.
Yeah.
But in the manga, he actually does draw her in this. And I'm pretty sure he probably did do the characters. Usually mangakas do the original designs for movie stuff.
Yeah.
And they have some influence in the story and art. But, he didn't draw it out in manga comic book format, right? But he does that. And also, he drews on that, I think it's the third, no. What's the movie where he does the parkour in the opening sequence? The guy who has like the bird. I think it's the third movie.
I think the third movie was all Deku.
Yes.
Oops, all Deku.
Oops, all Deku. Well, it's inevitable once again. But even he draws that character during the more climax.
And the other students are there like, you go.
Even, I'm just saying, it's nice to see in My Hero Academia, he does a little bit more versus like Dragon Ball, give me your energy scene, where the anime kind of fixes where maybe Toyama forgot about to maybe incorporate in the official version.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see, like, once again, he's kind of surpassing what other people did, and thinking about it a little bit thoroughly, and checking all the boxes and thinking about all the fans that got into the show either this way or that way. So I appreciate that.
Let's see where my train of thought was. I do also like the fact that it will shout out to your Kurobaras and your second tier characters, because they're like Deku's gonna be one like fine because there's two fights, right? And then Baku shows up and it's like, I'm not dead. Yeah, I'm not dead.
Not dead yet.
And the fact that he even surpassed Vegeta too in a certain way, because he kind of actually like, cause I can go like be just as him, He's not like single tech like, well, you're just me, I'm just gonna I'll support him and like that's all I do, right? But he's like, no, I could be better, like just as good and not better than Deku is. He has this whole moment fight scene where he's going nuts and just like laughing things off, like, it hurts, but you know what? I enjoy
the adrenaline's kicking in, and F it, I'll keep doing it until it wears out.
And you see him just spinning around, just going around, just like taking hit after hit, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
It is pretty beautifully animated, that's for sure. Him just flying around, explosions left and right, and just looking like a madman trying to take on this superpower guy, and him, you hear his mind say, what's going on? This punk-ass kid is, why am I so terrified of this guy? What the hell?
And the fact that like, you see him like a moment, actually, he gets his moment. He gets a moment like in the final battle, because even Vegeta doesn't get that moment. He's in the sidelines and he's like, I was like, well, you go.
Vegeta's moment's a little different. It's a moment, but it's a dramatic moment. It's not an action moment. But I would argue his dramatic moment it pays off as well.
Yeah,
different vibe.
But I'm saying, but incorporated those two guys in, despite it didn't look like it was like all Deku show or all my things like in there, but. And at the end of the day, despite all this power up shenanigans of quirks and that, at the end of the day, the story never used any of those abilities whatsoever. Better for worse, didn't use any of those.
The new abilities he acquired along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't really matter when it came to the very end of that big fight.
But I guess that's to me at the end, and more I think about it, I think that's the point, because you want to get to the moment in which it's not about quirks, whatever. It's about like, what can I do for you despite me being broken or normal, right? What can I do for, being a hero, and a whole lot of things we mentioned before on the podcast, things like that. I guess?
Yeah, I do agree. I think the concept's a good concept, but the stepping stones, the building blocks to get there is a little wonky. It becomes a little Heart of the Cards, and you're like, well, I've seen Heart of the Cards before, and I kind of like Heart of the Cards, but I roll my eyes about it. So it's kind of like you kind of go, yeah, I guess.
And also at the end, there's actually a cost because Deku can't use his abilities anymore. It's not like I won, but there's a cost to it.
Is there though with that final ending, which I guess we'll talk about when I officially get the baton.
Yeah. But I guess up till that point, I thought like when in fact he's okay despite losing abilities. Like he's like, yeah, I had my fun, I had my run. Good game,
right?
And he made peace with it because he'd be better or just like more distraught. I guess I thought would be. But he's like, yeah, but I'd save the world and this and everyone I know is safe. So yeah, he was at peace with it.
Right. Anything else, brother? Do you want me to steal it from you for a little bit?
No, yeah, go ahead, because I feel like we'll probably get to where I'm going to get to eventually anyway.
Probably. So yeah, I guess since you brought it up, brother, do you like the bonus chapter, or not even a chapter, it's like pages, the updated ending, or do you prefer the original ending?
I think the updated ending is like nicer or well received by the general public. Like it's kind of, but I don't mind the whole like it's over. Now I'm a normal person, kind of like accepting that part of my life is over.
I thought the same thing. I thought the last scene we saw in the anime was an anime thing only. And that's why I was very surprised when before we hit record today, this morning, in fact, I was like, it must be an anime thing only. But sure enough, I read the anime and I'm like, oh, they also do the same thing with like, here you go, Deku, here's your new suit. You become, the new Tony Stark. Have fun. And I thought it didn't make sense because the whole point of doing everything with All for One and Shiro Rocky, whatever his name is.
Shirataki.
Shiro bores me to tears. It didn't match what I feel like the writer was going for. A lot of people like and they lived happily ever after. Close the book, right? But I'm the one guy out there in the theater who enjoyed Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah. Shout out
and then I hear the background with the credits roll. I don't like that ending. But that's life to me. Where life, it's a good day when we could close the book and have a bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
Because that itself is rare these days. To have a happy-go-lucky ending is even rarer and almost unrealistic, I'd argue. So I do think that original ending made more sense for me. And to me, having those extra pages, I feel like it almost implies he's going to do another second season or My Hero Part 2, if you will.
Like Boruto or something. Like
yes.
Next Generation, because all of them do that now.
Yes, but the problem is I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's the other problem I don't like about it. It almost teases there's more to come, but like there probably is not going to be.
To me, the ending reminds me of a lot. It's similar vibes. Kaguya-san.
I'll trust you on that.
Well, because the ending.
I only know the anime.
There's like this. It's kind of. But now because now I don't know if they're making a new movie that basically
they're gonna redo the ending.
They're gonna cut all the old manga ending.
They are Neon Genesis this shit right here.
Yeah, they're Neon Genesis it. So the next movie, whatever, because there's a
classic.
They're going to he's going to come in and he's going to
after all these years
that never happened. We're going to I'm going to do
is it going to be like episode 25, 26 too?
Yeah. It's like I'm like,
oh my goodness.
And I roll my eyes and I'm like, "Oh, come on."
There's always time for an Ava reference.
But like you said, I think it works better when it's bittersweet because the whole show sometimes does have bittersweet moments of like, that didn't work out for me, but I put on to the next generation. Especially because Deku's more at peace at it. Like, if he was like upset, crying about it or something like that, then maybe I understand. Like, he wasn't distraught over it. When he was in the hospital bed, him and All Might for sure.
He understood they're
both in the hospital like, hey man, what happened to you?
Yeah, what happened to you?
But you hear him like he's like, well, I might be. Well, I still have something in me still, but I'm not upset. I did what I wanted to do. I had enjoyed it. It was a blast. But he was. Like he was for it, and him being a teacher makes sense because originally, he was more of the nerd anyway, so it made sense. I wish that ending leaned towards that a little bit more, but that's
I'm sure we're gonna get there soon enough.
But I felt like at the moment, with regards to that weird ending we had, it was like, yeah, this should be more like the original ending
makes more sense. Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Because I was very bamboozled for that for a good minute or two. Thus me picking up the manga. So there's that. And I guess since we're here and we weren't already in spoiler talk, we're super in spoiler talk now.
Super spoiler talk?
Super spoilers.
How do super spoilers work?
So as I mentioned before in our non-spoiler talk, the epilogue falls a lot flat for me. So, like I said, the funny part is early on, I really thought I was going to be more concerned and nitpicky and crapping on the whole final fight with him and Shiraki or whatever, once again, his name is, and how that's all going to work out. And yeah, that's kind of a bunch of gobbledygook, heart of the cards, feels and this and that. I probably would have been a lot more okay with if that storyline finished like 3 arcs ago.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, at the end of the day, that villain was just never interesting or not interesting enough to be the main villain of the series. And even the writer at the end of the season realized that and go like, no, he's not the real villain. It's me. He brings out his own moon goddesses. And calls them all for one. And they killed that guy like several times in the show. And so that's the thing. And it's funny where he admit that like no one liked him or he just wasn't interesting enough. And so that was the thing. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's not my biggest complaint. My biggest complaint is I feel like we should have had a full episode, if not 2 episodes, of seeing what happens. Because I think it's 8 years after the time skip where Deku's now a teacher at UA High School or whatever. And I think it would have been nice to see more of the official passing the baton with like the kid who has like spots in his hair, whatever his little storyline is.
Like 5 seconds and we moved on.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's like a story. It's like a very rough story outline, and that's all you get. So it's enough that in your head, and this is what makes it more frustrating. He puts enough on the pages and in the anime where you can fill in the gaps in your head, but the anime just doesn't, or the manga just doesn't fill in those gaps or push beyond what it should be to really feel a more satisfying ending. Especially if it's going to end for the more bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's the easy way to cope with that is just to give those 4 extra pages and here's a suit. The other thing the epilogue's so disappointing is we don't really know what happens to all 20 kids of class A, 1A of UA High School of that generation.
Yeah, we get a slideshow presentation.
The anime literally gives you a still shot of the characters and like 2 lines of it becomes like an old school Fire Emblem ending game of this is what happens to so and so, and also he died on the battlefield in map 2.
I'm actually surprised we even got that.
Yeah, it was very disheartening because it just felt like it was so simple because he laid out a lot of the legwork of like this character is probably not going to do hero work, or maybe they'll do hero work adjacent, like more like first aid responder kind of stuff versus, fighting big robots or whatever evil threat is on the planet. Or maybe this person might do like with like the Jiro and her doing the music stuff, and you kind of get a tease. Maybe they do music stuff, maybe, question mark.
Well, yeah, but because every ending was the same. It always like they're doing pro heroes that do individual work.
Yes, they all start their new agency.
And all of them, every single one. No one went to a existing energy. They all went independent.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, they might do this, which should be the one that we kind of like, I need like a small scene of them doing their other hot side hustle or something like that, but they just
Yeah, I just think it would have been more interesting if we just, and like I don't need a lot. I just need like a little quick scene of just exposition dumping left and right, but more natural exposition dumping, because like the series literally goes, Eraserhead shows up and he goes, Deku, have you heard about Bakugo? Oh, Bakugo's at it again, eh? And just very, lazy expedition dumping and blah. And he does that, oh yeah, and Todoroki's number 2 now. And it's just like, oh, it's very eye roller stuff. I don't know if we just think in a day in the life of Deku as a teacher, and along the way he hears other people, he bumps into other people, and they tell him right there and this and there. And 2, the other thing is, maybe this is just me, maybe it's just a me thing. I don't know. Where's the romance at? It's goddamn Valentine's Day. Where's the love at? Literally as far as we know, nobody hooks up. I'm not even looking, forget about marriage. I'm just looking for an official dating relationship status, a Facebook status change.
And the weirdest part is that the whole moment with Otaku and Deku, the moment, and nothing
became of it. Just the wasting our damn time. Because it's like there's several romances he teased and set up. Nah, I'm not even going to suggest maybe they went on a date. It's just more anime shenanigans that frustrate the heck out of me. By the way, check out You and I Pull Opposites. It's a very good show.
Yeah.
Breaks those chains. So yeah, that was also very was it? Am I the only one? Did anyone have expectations of something romantic? Am I hopeless romantic over here?
I thought at the end of the day, we teased talking Deku this whole gosh darn 8-year season, whatever, and nothing happened at all. Even like the night, it's like she was trying about Himiko and the whole thing. He's like, I feel sad for you, kid.
Cheer up.
And then now nothing happened. Like, no,
I'm not romantically interested, by the way.
Just like, cause like, well, that's the break.
Like the whole climax with the fight with Himiko and her, it's like, I love Deku, me too, but let's never talk about it ever again.
Like the moment of Friends where it's like, I love you, thank you.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all you're getting.
Yeah,
it's just like, and obviously, I don't need everyone to paraphrase, but that's just too silly. But I like at least the main characters we tease this.
Yeah,
whole
that'd be the easiest slam dunk, but nah.
It's like, well, he's at school now. I guess he's just
a sad loner who has no powers again.
I think that was one of the complaints that Ivan talked about.
Yeah, the romance is definitely it's just weird because, like I said, he sets them up. He sets them up, but nothing.
Yeah, if you set up at all or something like that, okay, fine.
Right,
sure.
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I would not expect it, but he teases like with several characters you meet in that series and this and that, and no.
He threw the lob.
But the potential other love interest was with the music girl and the electrical guy.
Yeah.
And there's something, I think one of the veteran heroes asked the electrical guy, who do you love the most? What? Who do you love the most? And then he visualized, who do you love the most? All right, you got him? Now protect them with your mind and then you'll be all right. And he thinks of her. Nah.
Like I said, like you forget, it doesn't bother, didn't care. I expect at least a bare minimum, at least something. They at least know. Like,
at least they got married off screen and went like, yeah.
Go ahead.
I love Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, go ahead, Chi-Chi.
They fly away in a cloud at least, and then Gohan pops up. So you're like, oh, it must be working out.
Or does Goku even know the real question?
Yeah, he doesn't know. Goku, do that thing you did. What? Before Gohan was born? Oh, this? Yeah, do that. And then you could go fight Cell tomorrow. It felt like he was in a rush. It definitely gave me vibes of the ending of Yu Hakusho. Of even Togashi said like, oh, maybe Yusuke fights this guy, and maybe they fight this guy, and then maybe it just all works out. And that's it. And that's what it feels like. You get a little bit more also in this ending, which is disappointing. Shrug, I guess. Back to you, Frank. Anything popping up in your brain, Frank, since our conversation, spoiler talk?
Maybe he was just trying to continue the trend you guys were talking about.
Breaking the chains.
Oh, this is what's supposed to happen?
No more, not on my watch. No one's having sex here.
Not much. Just I just keep thinking of the conversations I've had with Ivan. And one of the things that critique, which I kind of agree with him, but it doesn't bother me as much, is where the story starts with him saying, "This is how I became the greatest hero."
Oh yeah.
And it ends by not
him being the greatest hero.
Yeah, it basically ends by him saying, "This is how we became the greatest heroes," which is kind of like what do they call it? Cop out?
Yeah, cop out.
So it would have been nice for him to deliver that and be like, "Oh, he saved the world. Here's the statue," and nobody remembers him because he lost his powers.
Yeah, there's that.
I mean, it would have been nice if they would have done a statue for him because
he's probably standing behind All Might, and you just can't see it from that angle.
And it's like he did this amazing thing. Now he's a teacher, and it's almost like in a way he feels like he's forgotten.
It does come off that way in the epilogue a little bit.
The kids,
but I think he's trying to do that to make him feel a little bit more of a tragic figure, I guess.
But it's just like
it doesn't make sense.
Shouldn't he be like
super famous?
All Might type famous?
Yes.
And he's not.
Yeah, no, that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the maybe drop ball there, which I don't mind it too much.
Yeah, I agree. I noticed it, but I went, I don't care.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Decay Man?
Main bad guy?
The main, Mr. Hands.
I was always hoping that someone else would be the main bad guy.
Yes, okay. Me too.
There wasn't much to him. He's one of those bad guys where you don't really understand why he's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna destroy the world. But why? Like,
because of my tragic backstory.
Yeah, and it's
that's
just
really
like,
pretty cliche, by the way.
Like when you have certain bad guys who I like bad guys who I could almost cheer for.
Mm.
So if they have some good reason to do what they want to do, then it's kind of like, okay, it makes sense that everybody thinks they're doing the right thing, and you just have differences of opinion. Let's see who wins. Thanos. Like
right, yeah,
yeah. So
in the MCU version,
or
for sure.
Killmonger. That's still like the one like he's
that's another good one.
That's another like he's
you
not
understand?
wrong. He's not wrong.
But this guy, I don't really understand his motives.
Yeah, it's just I'm an edgelord king, and I'm so grumpy because of my tragic backstory. And the world will feel my pain. My pain's greater than yours.
I feel like it would have worked a lot better if we see him for a moment and we need someone else. We need like the Yakuza guy, or
I guess that's what that Yakuza guy was trying to do.
Yeah, but
he doesn't last long enough.
Like we see him like every other arc or something like that. He shows up. We have a big skirmish, whatever, and then like he's like because he was in a tank for the longest time, or he was supposed to be in a tank for a while there, and then I guess he didn't want to do like he didn't want to wait, or he couldn't find another guy to fight, so he's like, "I'll bring him out of the tank."
He's a good entry level villain, but that's about it.
I think I would have liked it better if they would have introduced him by meeting his teammates and not kind of like being lost and sort of gaining purpose by helping them. Like, hey, you're being discriminated against. Let me change that about the world. You're dying. Let me get powerful to find a way to save you. Something that it gives them a purpose, like, and a reason for all the teammates to really like him, because it seems like, oh, we like this jerk.
Right.
So they kind of explore it a bit, but I wish they would have gone deeper into it and make me like this guy. What is interesting about you?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Because I think the character that, by going by that suggestion you made, I think the one that falls to that the best when it comes to the villains was the Ninja Turtle Shredder guy.
Yeah.
Because, the whole thing, and that's the thing I do like this series overall, it tackles like racism, basically.
It goes a little bit into it, but I guess I want it more.
Right, yeah, and it does tackle it, but at the same time, it's a Shonen Jump property. You can't get too political, right? But it does dive into that, and that character, you understand why he joins the League of Villains, right? It's funny because the author is capable of writing interesting villain characters, but he just keeps spending more time on this one, which is just not as interesting. Even like you see the Sniper Wolf lady, like in that season 6, I think.
Well, Lei Nagant?
Yes. She has a very good reason of hating the world and the way they associate heroes and villains and this and that. Way more interesting as a villain. Even the Yakuza kid was a little bit more interesting in his dumb gangster ways. And he keeps coming back to this guy. And he keeps giving him more powers to try to make him interesting. And he gave him all the quirks in the world, and he just never got interesting. He just did not. And you get the backstory, and I still feel like that backstory was not worth the wait. Because it was pretty by the numbers, tragic backstory.
At the end of the day, with regards to some of the characters in this thing, he doesn't bother really explaining anybody's really backstory.
Yes and no, depending on which character.
Well, especially like All Might, for example, right?
I was gonna say
we tease a little bit here and there, but we never see like his because we're not going to do that for like possession, but the opening and that little bit there. Oh, we're going to talk about him finally after all these years.
Right?
Nah.
I think it didn't help also that the only thing I can remember about that guy is him always saying, "Oh, I'm gonna destroy everything." Oh, and it's just like. Can you
don't forget the scratch? Don't forget the scratch.
Can you say something else?
I'm gonna watch the world burn and decay. It's just like shut. It's like that's all you say, dude. Don't you got anything else? No, and like that's it.
Deku, I'm gonna beat you up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you, Deku. I'm gonna show those here, and he just keeps scratching, just like. Ugh. And the weird thing is, the other way I really thought the way they were gonna make that character interesting or justify him, and he kind of technically does do this with him, but it doesn't do anything emotionally enough for me. Because the whole early teases early on is you find out that he is related to All Might's teacher, his sensei, who was also a member of the One for All? Yes.
One for All, yes.
I have to think about which one's the good one, bad one. And like that was like the interesting emotional angle of like, haha, I've manipulated the grandson of your teacher and this and that. Don't take that, All Might. What are you going to do? You can't kill him. You love it. But the whole family relationship just doesn't really do anything at the end of the day. And like, I was really hoping there was going to be a bit more of an emotional story behind, I think she'd be the 7th user? Because Deku's the 9th user, right?
Yeah.
And All Might so she'd be number 7 before All Might. And I thought there was always going to be some like backstory that we're going to get into her and All for One or something of the sort.
Well, they should use that to play her and All Might at the same time.
Yes, and you don't get anything. You just get a quick tease of, I met her one day and she took me on her pupil And Proto Man was there to save me that fateful day when she fought, and that was it. Old Man Proto Man. I remember Old Man Proto Man.
Yeah.
They have like the Mindscape thing when she shows up to like save her son, which would be his father.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. I was hoping for more emotional feels for that long ass payoff. Literally in this segment, all the other users of One for All are already gone, but she still remains. I'm thinking like, oh, here we go. Here I'm like sucking my head, so like here we go, licking my lips. Here's the emotional tie-in to bring it all back, and nothing. Absolutely, almost nothing. I miss you, son. That's it. Hug and off they go.
Which is weird considering they went through all the other all for one users backstory pretty
more than hers.
Yeah.
But she's the most emotionally interesting one that we teased from the very beginning, almost in season 1, if not season 2. I think at the end of 1 still. So very early on.
What were her powers?
I was going to ask you, Frank, goddammit.
Is it flying?
I guess so. That's the only thing we see her do is she flies in that scene when All Might's talking to her.
And I go back to where I think the original powers was just supposed to be, because I think she was supposed to be strong, and then it only went back to her, and then
That's as far as the timeline went.
yeah, because you pass on the powers, and then did she not teach All Might anything? She was just like, okay, eat my hair.
Yeah.
Who knows what you'll get?
Good luck. Yeah.
Who passed it on to her? What did they tell each other? Because I understand if they don't know each other, but at least from like 8 to 7, you gotta know.
Right. They would actually. Yeah.
And as far as I know, Deku was the only one who got multiple powers.
It seems that way.
Well, he unlocked it all because you, the knife user,
And
you
he
get
does
all the
try to
bonus.
explain that away by saying that, and it's still kind of like, oh, it's a heavy eye
Well,
roll.
bad when Almond's like, wow,
But that's his
I didn't know that.
justification.
But then in that case, shouldn't have Deku have gotten his own unique power? Because it seems like he got All Might's power.
Yeah, it goes back, and that's one of the ones if we had time, I would have wanted to go back to see exactly what do they say, because they kind of mention it really quick in passing, but I don't remember exactly how they phrase it. So, but it's very wobbly, let's say. I think that's safe to say.
Timey-wimey.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, if you think about it, there's things to poke at and point at, but those things I'm willing to let go of, because at the end of the day, these guys are writing 10 new pages every 7 days. That's insane. I don't know how anyone does it. So I almost feel bad because it's impossible. It's impossible. What was that?
He takes a lot of breaks.
Yeah.
Seems like every week. Oh, next week break.
I mean, tell that Togashi. You want to see a break? Man's a giant Kit Kat bar.
But I think it's funny. I think we're slowly kind of changing that a little bit, especially with One Piece no longer being like a weekly series.
Well, that's an anime form.
Anime form. But we're like because I feel like we're getting to the point where because people are doing shorter series, or people are just I just don't want to do it at all.
I think what it is, it's for one, it's almost impossible, like I said, to do that every single week, no matter what, 365 days a year for what, a decade? If you're a big popular Shonen Jump, Naruto, Bleach, My Hero Academia, Zero, that's exhausting, and that's why these days you just don't see that. Because I looked this up out of curiosity, manga-wise, both My Hero Academia and Dragon Ball Z, you put them together, they're roughly 500 chapters long, and then that goes beyond that would be, I think, Naruto and Bleach. I think they're around 600-700 chapters each. And then, of course, Oda's at soon to be 1,200, I think. So that's how big. And Oda's been doing this since, what, the late 90s? 97, 98 would be my guess. So it's impossible to ask people to keep doing this in the long term. And sadly, we've seen the repercussions of what it is trying to draw a long, ongoing manga series for a long time, a.k.a. Miro with Berserk, and now even sadly with Toriyama with Dragon Ball. I guess maybe in a weird way, it's a good factor that the new popular stuff, your Demon Slayers, your Jujutsu Kaisens, they're not these giant epic series, which kind of hurts if you're a fan who's growing up with them, like we definitely are, I feel like. But it just seems unsustainable at the end of the day. So this might be a change that we all need, and it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
We will see. Miles, is there anything else that we haven't talked about yet you want to speak about? Get off your chest?
No, I think we covered basically everything, both good and bad, about the My Hero in general at this point.
Yeah, I think I talked about all the things that I'm a little grumpy about. But at the end of the day, I do think there was a lot more good the series overall did. I mean, for one, it's a very long series compared to, once again, the more modern day shonen stuff. I might write my own fan fiction epilogue myself just to feel a little bit better because it just seemed like there was some slam dunks here. And even Sagaraki's like, give me that ball. I'll do it myself. All right. Just put this in the hole, right? I know what to do here. I think it's just, it might be a long time before we get another epic Shonen Jump series like this in a long time. This might be a moment in history, gentlemen, that I'm not sure when we'll ever get one of these things again for us 2000 junkie kids who remember every day tuning in to a new episode of our favorite new Shonen anime.
It's like the One Piece, right?
Well, exactly. Even one my God, they got Luffy. After all these years, they got him. He took him off the airwaves.
But I think that when that happened, that's a big change because now everyone's been kind of, since My Hero came out, kind of been more leaning toward more.
It's okay if we show up every we don't have to be constantly on. Once again, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. Terrified of being off the air because if we're off the air, people forget about us and they won't tune into the next season. So you gotta keep more filler arcs.
You're gonna keep running through that bridge.
You're gonna keep going down that river.
That bridge, or as it loads, as the bridge is loading, you're gonna keep going now. We're actually our viewers in progress.
Naruto, remember that bad guy from chapter 1? What if we brought him back for several episodes and you have to deal with him? You think about that. Oh, Naruto, we got to infiltrate this other fake Orochimaru lair. Maybe Sasuke's in there. Let's find out. Oh, my goodness. And don't forget it's something like Ramen Race or something that was in between in the actual official manga start. I'm going to look it up. I always forget what it is.
Well, as we mentioned before, and just to mention again, Bleach had hands down the best filler arc in history.
Surprisingly, the Banto nonsense is not terrible. Go watch Bleach, kids.
I guess Black Clover's next. I guess the other.
Yeah, I guess that's the other one because I guess that was the other one that came afterwards.
And it's coming.
And it's also coming back. Like I said, you just can't keep a good shonen down.
Along with Bleach.
Gentlemen, just on a final note, I guess here for the podcast. In 2026, we're gonna have new episodes of Dragon Ball, One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. How? In this year of 2026, are we having new episodes of these fossils of shows?
Is that Naruto thing actually happening this year?
So after like 2 years of delays, it's finally gonna, and it's like just a recap or highlights of the series ? I don't know what. It must be something quite epic, and now at this point.
I'm not even excited about it.
I was for a little bit. I'm curious. I mean, at this point, I guess I'm re-excited because it's just been so long.
Excited, sounds funny.
He reignite my flame. I still have an ember of One for All.
I'll watch it, but
no, wait, that's a bad one, right?
I still think it's funny the fact that they're redoing the Berserk yet again.
The third time's the charm. Hey, if Ano can do it, like I said, we're all chasing Ano after all these years.
Is Ano here? Is Ano doing it? Not the get out of here.
Oh, that man and his silly mecha robots. Oh, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is our spoiler talk of My Hero Academia final season. It took 10 years in the making, and at the end of the day, it was still quite the show to watch. And if you like shonen battle nonsense, still the top dog's up there.
I was curious more about Vigilantes at this point, since that's more.
Yeah,
I heard it because apparently I look up on Reddit. Apparently they're going back and covering certain things now
that the original series didn't cover.
Yeah, it's like okay.
Big Band-Aid.
Yeah, because I think they're talking.
What is this? Was it Red Hero in another word? Big Band-Aid?
Yeah, because I think right now with Eraserhead, and they're talking about.
Well, yeah, you see him in at least season 1.
But they go back to his high school days and things like that. So it's a lot.
Oh, there's a plot line that.
They got
really didn't do much with it, but he set it up and just went, it worked out, I guess.
Yeah.
Shrug. What can you do? Oh, man, that was one interesting spoiler discussion these guys just had.
Well, there was a way for everyone to listen to our thoughts throughout the week.
Well, you're just in luck, Commercial Mouse. It just so happens we're on all the major social media networks out there.
Yeah, like there are posts on Bluesky or pictures on Instagram. You'll find all the things that we do outside the podcast.
Wait. We do things outside the podcast?
Well, it's not like we sit here for 2 weeks until the next podcast.
I do.
Why would you do that?
I don't want to miss out on another episode of Talk Podcast.
Also, just like the listeners, so let's get back to it.
But what we can do for you guys out there listening is tell us what our next episode is going to be. Or I could tell you. I'll make it easier. I'll tell you what. Take a break. Sit down. Relax.
I got this.
I'll tell you what we're going to do next time here on this very little podcast. Next on our lineup, we're going to be doing a sequel review. We do every so often.
Sequel review
of Spy. Does everyone call it Spy Family here? What do you call it, Frank?
Spy Family?
Just Spy Family. Miles?
My family?
Just Spy Family. No X, no crossover. Okay.
I figure at this point, no one else.
No Spy Hunter family.
I don't think anyone else does that I know out of vernacular. So it's like, I guess this is what we settled on.
I'm always curious. It's always like that in the Hunter. Well, how do you pronounce it? But yes, Spy Family season 3 came out. I think it was last season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I know Frank. Well, he just started it, the new season. Me and Miles need to catch up, but we need to even catch up a little bit more because we got the movie we haven't watched yet. So we're gonna do all that and report back here on this very RS feed or YouTube channel, wherever you watch, Spotify, URL, I don't know, the internet, how it works.
The matching it is.
I just hit upload and something happens, and apparently you can find us on the internet, and I apologize.
Already?
Already. But I swear, the Spy Family, we're going to get our act together. The Spy Family episode, that's going to be a good episode. So definitely like and subscribe today. Don't miss out on that. Yeah. So we got that. And of course, it's soon going to be March Madness, gentlemen. So usually on this very podcast, we also tend to do some kind of bracket of tournament of anime, video game, pop culture nonsense.
Last year's waifu bracket almost broke the internet.
Even I'm trying to remember who. We had the safest girl. Safest girl wins. You guys. I'm remembering. Getting Vietnam flashbacks all over again here.
I think I'll figure it's like Andres, huh?
But of course, before we sign off, I must thank every single co-host here and hanging out with me and talk with me. So Frank, thank you, friend. Thank you for joining me once again and bringing the action-packed Shonen Jump series that we like talking about every so often. What's the next big Shonen Jump series, Frank, for you?
Trigun?
Well, it's, yeah.
Down.
Down to down. See, that's a Shonen Jump property.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
I don't know who makes things.
Yeah, it's true. Frank just consumes.
Right, it's like, is that what it is?
Give it to me. He's just like Kirby. Just vacuums it all up.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Frank. We'll add it to the list. Trigun is also on my list, I will admit. That is, once again, after the season is done, gentlemen, we're stacked. We're stacked up for weeks on weeks.
This podcast will not run out of content this year.
Speaking about sequel reviews coming at you in 2026. But of course, also Miles, I have to thank you, brother, for coming, hanging out with me again, and sharing your mega robot girl adventures and Demoland.
Yeah, it is funny because like everyone's kind of saying like, is Pragmata pretty much a Mega Man game? Like, I don't know.
She's a little android girl in blue walking around.
And even Capcom came out and said, like, no, we didn't. It is not a Mega Man. Like, but the more you play it, you're like, are you sure?
And here comes it's me, Dr. Light, Mega Man. Hey, Mega Man, remember me, Mega Man?
All I know, AI is bad. We shouldn't trust AI to manage space stations. All I know.
If there's a red girl that comes out.
Redhead, you mean?
With a sword.
Frank signed me up. And yeah, now Frank is crossing his hands, looking at us. Here we go.
Her name is going to be Zero.
It writes itself. Speaking, well, I work on my Hero Academia fanfiction. Frank's going to be working on his. So we'll all be busy. But until then, we'll be back in 2 weeks to bring you a brand new episode of Otaku. Thank you so much for listening to us. Hopefully say more positive things at the end of the day about My Hero Academia. It's a good show. You should watch it. And hopefully you guys have a good one or hear from me in the near future. But until then, latest people,